Hello, everybody. This is Jamie the D, the Mad Welshman.
And this is the Salted Grump, still known as Sonar in some circles.
And we're in the Siren Sea with siren music.
Which means we're in this shit, because all of a sudden enemies are now 10 levels higher than you again.
Look to the left.
I know. More accurately, this is the first time we see Siren warships on the field, and they are absolute ass kickers.
They really are. And on top of that, like all independent enemies, they will track you over. They'll move after a certain number of moves, most usually 2.
Some of the really big and heavy ones will take 3, but that's because they're battleships and they are going to battle your shit.
Yeah. And they will go towards the closest fleet of yours.
Now, you can technically play rope-a-dope by just moving the fleet that they are targeting into a fight with another static fleet, and just keep on bouncing between static fleets to prevent any movement. But in practice, it's simply easier to just absolutely stomp on the elite that's hunting you, because it's, well, that much faster.
Yeah. I nearly always prioritize elites when I can.
And as shown at the end of this fight, actually, there was a Peacebreaker, which is the Siren Tier 1 battleship. There are 3 tiers. They get steadily nastier.
Yep. Another reason why I wish we had Northern Overture in this LP.
Yep, because Northern Overture is the first appearance of the Tier 3 Sirens, which means that they get semi-armor piercing ammunition, which gets all the benefits of armor piercing and all the benefits of high explosive at the same time.
Not to mention Observer Zero.
Observer Zero is, well, also known as the Dreamweaver, is very much an interesting character because she's not actually... I'm trying to articulate myself here, but it's hard. But the Dreamweaver, or Observer Zero, or whatever she's called, because it changes on a level-by-level basis, I swear to fucking God.
It does.
She's not a hostile siren, but she is not a ally either. She is very much part of the siren methodology, and it's very strange to see in action at the best of times.
Yeah. There are actually several observers, of which Zero is but one.
Yeah, the tester... Well, there's the Observer Alpha, which is the original Observer. There's the Tester Beta, which was basically, for the longest time, those two were the only sirens in the game with speaking roles, and they'd basically shit-talk each other all the time.
Mm-hmm.
And then you eventually had the Dreamweaver show up at the end of Fallen Wings, if I recall correctly. You have Code G, also known as Enterprise, who is allegedly the template that all the other humanoid sirens are built off of. Then you have the really fun stuff like the Purifier, who is very much an absolute middle finger to common decency. And it just keeps going from there. It's very impressive and just... Trying to figure out the sirens is very much a good way to make your head explode like your aesthetics are in scanners.
Yes. Very much so. And yet we're still gonna try.
Don't worry, I'll lever most of the head exploding off onto me.
Yeah. Funnily enough, we will be seeing Purifier. Unfortunately, we won't be able to finish this storyline because, as you say, it's a quadrilogy of events, and we haven't had the third one.
Yeah, so, I mean, technically, Crimson Echoes is, well, the start of it. And then you have Visitors Died in Red, Then there is the mini-event, Return of the War God, and finally Ink-Stained Steel, which is, well, where we're currently at. And, of course, well, Purifier shows up at the end of Ink-Stained Steel to be a bitch anyway.
Yeah. Purifier's blasting off again!
Oh yeah, she's very much a shit poster in her own right, but she also has absolutely zero tolerance for cryptic conversation and bullshit. Oh, and by the way, this tracker here, yeah, that's what the Siren elite cruisers do. They just dump diagonal streams of armor-piercing ammo across the map, and you have to dodge it. Because that shit will chew up even level 120s when they're level 50.
Oh yeah. Yeah, trackers are among my most despised sirens. And we'll be seeing a lot of them. Like, I'm reasonably sure the B-side is just packed with the fuckers.
Well, yeah, pretty much. They really hate you.
They hate everyone. I think they even hate other sirens.
Well, yeah, it's basically... The best way I can describe the sirens, is, to my understanding, is that their entire shtick is essentially Darwinian social engineering and survival of the fittest in the worst way possible.
Yeah. Multiple times it's implied that the sirens are doing a eugenics.
And we don't know if it's eugenics for them, eugenics for us, eugenics for ship girls in general, eugenics just because they can, or because they're trying to prepare us for something worse that they got their shit kicked in by.
Yeah.
Oh look, it's an explorer! It's a destroyer! It's wrecking your face.
Oh yeah. The general theme of sirens is we will cover everything in fucking bullets. There is
a reason this game has been compared to Toho, and it's not just because fucking Poi gets Toho music.
Yeah, it's because some of the bosses really are bullet hell. It's not about dodging the shots. It's about how many you can feasibly dodge.
Yeah, you are going to take hits. There is a reason why your girls have health bars. You do not want those health bars to run out. The morale hit sucks.
Yeah. Yeah, just for doing battles, you get a morale hit of 2 per battle.
And losing a girl, morale hit of 10. So, it adds up.
Yeah. 50 is where they start getting unhappy. Why?
In this case, it's not cleared. You still have one more boss fight to go.
Oh! Surely I could have just edited that out.
Probably.
Unless I got a ship in here. Any which way, we get to see...
You get to see Warspite do what Warspite does best, which is take a sledgehammer to the madgers of anything in front of her.
True. We also got to see Tracker's design a little more clearly. She's holding 2 railguns.
Yep, and she's a light cruiser.
Yeah.
The Siren Heavy Cruisers, the Oceania class, are even nastier. Because they do the same bullet hose, only they hit like heavy cruisers.
Yeah. Yeah, and we'll be seeing Oceania class.
Yeah, there's a lot of swearing going on behind the scenes when Sirens first pop up. Ah, the Strategist, that's a carrier. Oh, bye Strategist, it got deleted by everything.
Yeah, Strategist I tend not to worry about.
I mean, they look fucking cool, but yeah, they're squishy.
Yeah, they're by no means a Zoikaku. One of those. None of those.
Crane.
Yeah. The carrier with an absolute fuck bundle of hit points.
Well, that's all of them, really. Graf Zeppelin actually has the most hit points of any carrier in the game.
Yeah, but in campaign mode, she just seems to take so much more of a beating.
Well, yeah, because she's lucky. She doesn't get critical hits on her. There is a reason why the Lucky Crane is called the Lucky Crane.
Honestly, I can't wait to be shot of you, Portland.
Portland
I won't be for a while yet.
Portland is. Her retrofit is just a straight stat buff and efficiency boost to her weapons, and push comes to shove, she is mechanically fine. The issue is her characterization is an absolute disservice to her wartime history.
Forgot the other stat buff she gets.
Oh, she doesn't even need that to be viable late game.
No. The one that doesn't have any in-game effect. +2 to indie port dojin.
We don't talk about that, Jamie. We leave the scars to the thread, because it's funnier that way.
Anyway. By the way, all of the sirens have a nautical theme. Have an aquatic life theme. Yes.
Yes, that's the word you're looking for. And there is one that was seen in a single cutscene, the Arbiter, Empress the Third, that is basically sitting in the maw of a giant squid armored like a cuttlefish.
Yep.
Essentially, the more powerful a siren is, the more outright fucking sea monster they are.
And trackers of sharks.
For good reason. The
Yeah.
nasty little things. They're like miniature purifiers.
Yeah, Purifier is actually a giant manta.
It's actually not a giant manta. Purifier rides a hammerhead shark with 8 laser cannons mounted on it.
Oh, fair enough. Got an octopus there, I believe.
Yep, that would be the Observer.
Yeah.
We still have no idea what the Tester rides, but I think it's a Ray.
Yeah, one of them rides a ray.
And the Dreamweaver has a jellyfish motif.
Yeah.
There's there's about a half dozen at the moment off the top of my head, and I just can't remember their names.
Yeah, the Oceana is sort of Nautilus-ish.
Yeah, it's basically sort of a Nautilus shell with guns everywhere.
Yeah.
The Siren Elites, like the Tracker and such, really don't fully express the full sea monster-ish theme of what they are and how much bullshit they are.
No, their bullets do that for them.
Yeah, I saw her just bullet hose you with a secondary barrage there.
See, the secondary barrage isn't a problem.
It's the absolute containment barrage that drives you nuts.
Oh, yeah. She's not the only one. And, of course, later trackers get even worse.
Yep. Because all Siren ammunition is armor-piercing, but the higher tier Sirens get additional benefits to their ammunition, so stuff like, say, improved damage outlook, or improved aim, or effects of high explosive ammo with armor-piercing damage values. You know, good times for everyone except on the receiving end.
And some of them get better patterns.
Don't remind me. Don't worry. At least it's not Purifier and her 8 laser cannons of, fuck you, I am going to blockade the entire screen.
Yeah, the Purifier in Inkstone Steel is actually nerfed.
It actually is nerfed. It's essentially the first time you fight her in-game, and it was her first appearance, really. And as a result of that, she is nowhere near at her full output. Then you fight her on hard difficulty and go, fuck! She really is that much of an absolute ass kicker.
Oh yeah, there we go. There's a pair of rays. For arms, see?
Yeah, the Explorer is, well, she's essentially a elite destroyer. She is not even got a single line or anything like that. It's basically a generic Moog, only in this case she's got bullet hose mode on instead of off.
Yeah, I don't think Tracker gets a line either. Or Oceania.
No, they're all just considered elite-level enemies instead of named enemies, like the Testers, the Purifiers, the Observers, all that sort of stuff.
Yeah.
Oh, it's Salt Lake City. I like Salt Lake City. She's a good one.
Yep.
Yeah. There's a long anecdote about SLC, but the long and short version is that she was a very old, heavy cruiser, and she is the only ship in the world to have her steering wheel fall off twice in battle.
Oh yeah. I was very confused about the lack of cutscene in-game. Because it didn't play.
Yeah. Because somehow your computer hates you.
Yeah. And this is what happened before the final boss fight.
Yeah, they suicide bomb. Ashigara, by the way, one of the Miyoko-class heavy cruisers, was participant in the 1937 Naval Review in the coronation of King George VI.
Mm-hmm.
Which is where she got her appellation of the Hungry Wolf, because of her Spartan crew quarters.
Amagi is also a leading from the front type.
Yep. Amagi is just incredibly strategically minded at the same time, and seeing as how she is, well, toting 10 big fuck-off guns, she's baiting the enemy, really.
Yep. Oh, hello. You're still a fucking idiot, though. Yeah.
Yep.
So, starting
Again.
to... Now, this is actually an interesting part of the plot. I don't know if it's revealed yet.
It's not revealed, but it's very strongly implied at this point.
So we might as well say it. That one recon plane that was shot down is very important.
Yep. There's a reason Amagi pulled Hosho aside and whispered in her ear where nobody else could hear.
And this is the first example of poorly equipped battleships trying to fight carriers.
Well, I mean, you could say poorly equipped. A better term would be... what's the word I'm looking for? Learning a new doctrine the hard way.
Yeah, that fits.
The hard way is very much a matter of, well, the player getting punched in the everything.
Yeah. I mean, we've got anti-air. They don't.
Well, they did have a little bit of anti-air. I could dig up the information if you want. It's worth a good hearty chuckle.
If it's worth a good hearty chuckle, that says everything. Because, of course, the Sirens are well ahead of the Azur Lane at this point, and the Crimson Axis.
Yep. So, Sendai, the older sister of Naka, at the start of 1924, had 2 8-centimeter anti-aircraft guns. That was it.
Wow.
In 1943, Naka, who is the sole survivor of her sisters by that point, had 10 25mm guns and 2 50 caliber anti-aircraft machine guns.
What the hell am I doing here?
You are apparently playing Shuffle the Screen Around.
Oh, I know what I'm doing.
In this case, you're playing Rope-a-Dope in your own special way.
No.
No.
We'll see if this works out.
Every time you say, we'll see if this works out, it means this is going to be a disaster and I'm going to laugh.
Well, the thing about every map, including the event maps, is that there's only a limited number of permutations of spawns.
That's correct. And up until December 2019, you could block spawns by sitting on the spawn point.
Yes, as I learned to my cost. So many map replays because I accidentally blocked the spawn. But what I'm getting at is that long-ass set of movements was hopefully to sit me right next to the boss.
What would practically happen is that, due to the patches that the game has had since release and the various updates, what happens when you're sitting on top of an enemy spawn and that spawn is chosen to activate, the enemy will spawn under you and get you in a fight instantaneously.
Yes.
However, thankfully it will not telefrag you, because telefragging is both hilarious and wrong.
Yeah. No, instead they'll basically, as you say, appear out of nowhere. Oh look, you've got a fight. I've also had that happen to me. Honestly, I don't feel salty at all when that happens.
Yeah, because, I mean, the alternative is very much a matter of if you block a fight for whatever reason, the game gets confused, things get weird, you don't want things getting weird, the sirens are weird enough, goddammit.
Yeah, and having to replay a map because you blocked the boss spawn.
Yeah, that's just very much a matter of take your forehead, smack it with something hard, like a wall.
Rinse, repeat.
So, in the interim of this mission, watching you mop up things, why don't we talk a little bit about the submarine mechanics?
Yeah, why not?
So, the submarines, these are very much unique gameplay characteristics in their own right. They are extremely gimmicky and occasionally very frustrating, but in my personal opinion, the benefits very strongly outweigh the costs, because equipped right and leveled up right, you can basically have a squad of 3 subs show up for minimal oil cost in the middle of a battle, and absolutely derp a fuck ton of torpedoes downrange and completely destroy not only waves, but bosses.
Yep. A well-timed sub-placement, of which I very rarely do.
I mean, you still have your subs set to automatically hunt down and cause armor break damage to enemy fleets.
Yeah.
Which comes into the factor of every sub has a set range. This range is adjusted both by limit breaking. When you get the second limit break, they get range increase. Meowficers, specifically Steel, the German ultra-rare Meowficer, and the equipment of the improved batteries, which allows your submarines to, well, increase their hunting range once more to a maximum of a hunting range level of 5. This is always in a unique shape per sub, depending on which sub is the flagship, so it takes a bit of wrangling to get used to. However, any ship, any fleet within that range can be automatically targeted by your subs, either for just sneaking over, smacking a torpedo into them, and causing armor break damage, which makes them easier to, well, wreck, as you probably have surmised. Or you can turn that option off and just directly call them into battle to completely ruin everyone's shit, which costs, again, 1 unit of ammo. With 3 subs in a squad, you have 6 units of ammo, and it costs about 19 oil per call, so mixed blessing, I suppose. The subs also have some unique outliers, such as the French submarine cruiser Surcouf, which is armed with a pair of 8-inch guns, because she was designed to pop up on the surface and open fire. And the German submarine U-47, which is unique in that she is, quote, a lone wolf, and actually gets a series of buffs to her hunting range and ammunition capacity when she is alone. So she acts like 2 subs in a battle instead of 1 when she is, again, alone.
So I'm going to break this up with the before boss fight.
Yay, plot!
Also, it did backfire on me. The boss spawned in the other location.
Well, yeah.
Oh, this is the big sister chat.
Reject my carrier conversion. Whack! Yep. What do the 5 fingers say to the face?
She's a teenager, Amagi.
Amagi's less than a year older than her. That is a lesson that, sadly, does not stick.
It really doesn't. Like, of the sisters that aren't Amagi, I like Kaga better. But that doesn't mean she isn't a massive jackass.
Massive jackass she may be, but, well, she mellows out, eventually. Ish. Kinda.
Ish. She mellows out more than Akagi does. Akagi goes the opposite way from here.
It is partly implied that the reason why Akagi throws her lot in with the sirens at the start of the main storyline is in part due to the tragedy that is Amagi, really.
Yeah, we don't find that out until much later, though. We certainly don't find it out in Vistas Dying in Red.
No, it's very much a case of there is a lot of interpretation in regards to what's going on in Akagi's brain. Yeah. Because not only is she aware of all of the siren bullshittery, but in the personal story she has, Red Spider Lily's Love, which is unlockable when you have Akagi in your fleet.
As secretary.
Yeah, the fleet Akagi is not only fully aware of what the original Akagi did, and what the storyline Akagi did that threw in her lot with the sirens, but she accepts that she is both different enough to oppose that, but similar enough to understand exactly why.
Yeah. Strategist.
The Strategist is basically the Tier 2 Siren Carrier, and as you can see, fucking bullet hose. And lightning balls.
And lightning bolts.
And helicopters.
Not quite sure what she's patterned after, though.
If I had to wager a guess, I would posit that the Strategist is basically a late-stage Essex class. One with an angled flight deck, more than anything.
Oh, no. I mean the Aquatic Crab?
She sits there waving gently and sends things out to attack for her. So she's like a kelp forest. There's things inside her that will attack things that get tangled in the kelp.
Okay, fair. Yeah, that works.
I'm just pulling that out of my purse, but you can guess why.
Yeah, like, it's very hard to tell, especially when, they're flashing being obscured by shit.
Plus, I mean, it's just... You don't get high-detail shots of the elite sirens.
Yeah.
I would love high-detail shots of the elite sirens, but I don't think those are forthcoming anytime soon.
No. Just because he killed the siren carrier does not mean that the planes are out of the picture.
Yep. And Amagi realizes just how screwed everyone is. This is why she's made plans and countermeasures ahead of time. Amagi's not just talking, time is running out about this entire action.
Yeah. Time is running out for her.
Oh, yep. That would be a 2,000-pound cookie bomb. Big and fucking ugly.
Yep. Thankfully, we do not have battle damage, Kaga.
That is another thing that Azur Lane has as an improvement over Kantai Collection, where if your girls get damaged, they get stripped.
Yeah. Yep. Shit ain't looking good.
Yep.
And all because of you, Kaga.
Don't worry, she learns sometimes.
Oh, I know. Stop it! God fucking damn it, Kaga.
Well, I mean, to be fair, this is her fault. She is accepting blame for it.
Yeah, but she's also being such a bloody drama queen about it.
She's a teenager.
I know! Anyway, yay!
Hosho to the rescue.
Damn right. Do not mess with Mombo. And yes, in the world, they literally do summon the planes.
I mean, they still have a...
bow.
I'm sorry, something just went garbled there. Sorry about that. Would you repeat yourself?
Enterprise summons them with a bow. Some of them summon just... Well, we know how Hermes does it.
Yeah, she's a...
With the heart of the cards!
And
So-
both Yorktown and Hornet just summon them direct from their flight decks, which are essentially hip-mounted.
And I don't know how Illustrious does it, but it's probably like that one anime, what was it called? Grenadier.
No, she does not pop them out of boobs. That's for soft landings. No, Illustrious's flight deck is mounted across her back, and is basically part of the bustle of her skirt.
Anyway. Yeah. The final map is not in Siren territory, but...
So, here's a plot point. Amagi's Wisdom Cube was damaged. This is not accurate. What actually is that it was defective. And this is a direct allegory to how the historical Amagi was destroyed in the Kanto earthquake, because the earthquake was so powerful and so violent that Amagi, who was still in the construction slipways at the time, had her keel twisted like a pretzel. She was completely unsalvageable before she was even completed. And that is why Kaga was chosen to be converted into an aircraft carrier, because otherwise it would have been Amagi and Akagi as the first carrier division.
And we're not actually certain that Amagi would survive the carrier conversion.
And that's correct. So, that is the, honestly, very large kick in the teeth, because Amagi has spent this entire event basically having her story be told to the characters. She is kind, she is intelligent, she is caring, and she is willing to put her life on the line, not only to essentially beat the stupid out of her family, but to try and do her absolute utmost to prepare them for a future where she will not be around. And
there's also a third motivation, but we'll get to that.
And the worst part is that, as shown in the main game set of 3-4, yeah, that didn't exactly go over well.
Yeah. And of course, Vistas died in red, where... Ooh.
Yeah, VDIR is very dark. We will have to get into detail about that later, though.
Yeah. I really have to finish. Yeah, I really have to finish Oshio's storyline. Just to show that one little tidbit off about Yudachi.
Yeah, goddamn it, boy. In all seriousness, I like Azur Lane's Yudachi because she is essentially, well, she's a Shiba Inu in pretty much every way. She is hyperactive, she is energetic, she is entirely led around by her nose and desire for food, and she is extremely loyal.
She Buffy.
And, I mean, I talked about this with the Shirayatsu, and I know I'm mangling that pronunciation, as well as Shigure, which is the second of the class, but they're all modeled after the same breed of dog, except for Kawakaze, who got the nickname Donut by the fandom as an affectionate jab at her creator.
Yep. Her last name is, of course, Steel.
Mm-hmm. You might you might have never seen Kawakaze, but you have seen her as Shirakami Fubuki over on Hololive.
A variation. We had this discussion in the Grinder discourse.
Yeah, we had a very amusing discussion about it, but the long and short of it is that the artist only makes variations off of one OC, and the variations are often subtle enough to pass muster, but just, yeah. I'm not going to call it...
That's perfectly fine.
Yeah. I'm not going to call it cheap or anything, but it just feels like an artist with that much talent could be doing so much more if they wanted to. But that's my 2 cents, and I can't draw worth a tinker's damn anyway, so...
Well, the key there is wanted to.
Oh yeah, that's fair.
If that's their comfort zone, then... And to be fair, they do draw good fox girls. Or... Is it a fox kamikaze?
Yeah, it's a fox, which is mildly annoying seeing as how it diverges from the already established genus.
Yeah, fair. I mean, on the British side, we got Bulldog and Beagle.
Well, yeah, and, well, to be fair, the only actual animalistic features they have is their hairstyles.
Yeah.
Also, Bulldog is a sass monster. You'll get to see that in the U110 event.
Mm-hmm. I'm also very amused by one of the Brit skins in the current school skin event.
Oh, really? Which one?
I can't remember which ship it is. I think it's Edinburgh. But they've got a newspaper cone of fish and chips. That is a very British thing.
Yeah, I'll have to pop open my own game and double check on that. It's been a while since I've seen that event's actual cutscenes because I've gone through it so many times. It pops up fairly regularly because, hey, its bonus is a free outfit for Craven.
Yeah. And it introduced the schoolgirl outfits.
And to be fair, some of the schoolgirl outfits are a hell of a lot more dimmer and not lewd than the actual outfits that are given to the characters.
Sometimes, yeah.
Cough, Eldridge.
Well, yeah. But also, I know quite a few people who'd be looking at Hiryu's skin and saying, "Oh my god, believe me."
Yeah. So, in regards to Chokai there, the chibi obviously doesn't show the details, but she was drawn by the same artist that drew QBZ over on Girls Front Line. And there have been many comparisons that the artist basically said, okay, I'm just going to take the same character and add rigging. It is not entirely inaccurate, but again, when you're on a budget and on a time crunch, right?
Yeah. Yeah.
There is also the fact that, well, all the curves.
I mean, that's the class overall. Let's face it.
Well, except for Maya.
Well, yeah, but... God damn it, I really don't want to spoil that storyline.
Then we won't.
Good.
Even if I am an evil bastard about driving you nuts about it.
Yeah.
Constantly.
Actually, I will say one thing. The hell you say? So people who've played Azur and gotten to a certain storyline will giggle, and everyone else you'll have to wait.
Yep, such is life. Don't worry about it. We're not gonna hurt you.
Yeah.
As usual, you're picking up about 5 billion of the K-class cruisers, which, well, yeah. We've talked about them before. They're good.
They're good.
Which, surprisingly, shocks a lot of people when I say that, yes, a bunch of gray-tier light cruisers are some of the best light cruisers in the game because their stats are just that balanced.
Yeah. Yeah. Like, the K-Class were instrumental to me getting Rune in Maine.
Well, up until recent updates, they were the only ones, well, 3 of the 4 German girls that could actually accumulate experience for collecting Rune in the first place.
And now it's much easier.
Yeah, entire front line. Go for it!
Yep. Previously, it was only cruisers. Yeah, just cruisers, wasn't it?
Yeah, it was specifically light or heavy cruisers, of which there was a total of, well, 5 easily accessible. There were the 3K class, there was Leipzig, and there was Prinz Eugen.
Yeah.
Out of 7 easily accessible German girls in the game. Because the only other would be Z1 and Z23.
Yeah. I mean, to be fair, Yeah. And for the backliners, it used to be battleships, battle cruisers, and actual carriers.
And now it's just, if you have the backliner, the faction. So, research now is a lot less of a pain in the ass.
Yeah.
At least on the experience grind.
Yeah. Everything
Blueprints, however... Blueprints? Fuck.
Yeah. It's only because I had so many cubes that I did a rainbow tier research for Friedrich de Gross this morning.
Now, speaking of rainbow tier research and all that, I have actually managed to get my FDG up to level 25 out of 30 on the research.
Nice!
Yeah. Needless to say, that's pretty fucking expensive because it takes about 500 total to actually max her out. And blueprints are only accumulated into 3. Remember, decisive rarity, which is rainbow tier, 1 tier higher than normal.
Oh, yeah, so it would be 500, wouldn't it?
Yeah, it's about 300. Yeah, it's 343, I think, for the typical rarity, which is, well, the super rare equivalent. Yeah. So, it adds up. It's pretty insane, but it adds up.
Not to be confused with St. Louis.
Yep. St. Louis, also known as St. Ludus, is the American Brooklyn-class light cruiser. St. Louis, the French heavy cruiser, which was never built, but had full blueprints and such, was eventually implemented and modeled in World of Warships, and Wargaming.net actually got something right and made her a right ass kicker.
And then she was introduced as a priority ship.
And she is awesome because she is a right ass kicker that is also A, stupidly fast, and B, will beat the shit out of everything and everyone with a big fuck off spear.
Oh, this might be the point. I realize that this is one of those maps where you have to fight on 0 ammo.
Yep.
So
this is a thing that happens on most later maps in the game. Well, almost all of them, really. But eventually, if you are planning on doing a full map clear, which you need to do for 3 stars on almost every map, really, you will have to end up fighting with one of your fleets suffering from a no ammo debuff, which is a flat 50% loss of overall damage. Needless to say, it is a kick in the teeth.
Yep. Thankfully, I believe we're doing it with Warspite Fleet.
Well, yeah. They've already ran out of ammo. You may as well use them to finish clearing the mooks and save ammo for they're actually pumping the boss.
Yeah. Yeah, there we go. I'm getting ready. And then there's 2 more. They're medium fleets. Oh wait, one of them's a medium battleship fleet, and one of them's a medium carrier. I mean, they're at full health. They're at full health. Yep. They'll only take a quarter to half of their hit points.
Usually around 15 to 20%, depending upon level difference. I also see that you have sonar on Craven.
Yeah.
Sonar is used in SOS missions, so you can shoot submarines. Let's leave it at that.
And that's its only use.
It takes up a valuable auxiliary slot, which can usually be used for something better, like, say, boilers, which add speed and health, or fuel filters, which add evasion and health.
Or reloaders.
Yes, autoloaders are exceptionally nice. I like them.
Yeah. There is actually a version of the autoloader which you only get at Tech 3, and that's really sad, and that's the rammer.
Yes, the rammer is the predecessor to the loader. It is essentially completely supplanted by the autoloader in every way, shape, and form.
Yeah.
Tech 3, by the way, in this case means blue tier or lower. And in general, you're looking at purple tier as your bare minimum for when you're level 60 plus. Because it's basically the sort of stuff that will serve you until the end game, or until you can replace it with gold or possibly even rainbow tier awesomeness.
Yeah. Personally, I find if your main fleet doesn't have a majority of gold items, you're not doing good.
Well, it's very much a matter of what you're aiming for in the long run. Again, this game is best described as a marathon, not a sprint. In just about all of its mechanics, you are not expected to go blazing through from World 1 to World 13 in a week.
Yeah. Like, it's taken me 2.5 months to get to 8.4, and I expect it to drastically slow down.
Drastically slow down is an understatement. I am at 13.3 myself, and I have been there since, well, Map 13 launched in English. Mostly because of the fact that I am taking the time to backtrack to older maps and just grind out drop-only ships.
Yep. Which I've been having obscene luck with on LP save.
Yeah. But on my current to-do list, I have to collect Hiyu, Jonyu, and Shokayu themselves from World 12.
Yeah, see, that wasn't so bad. Any map where you walk away without a single ship, like, destroyed, is a good one.
Like the joke, any landing you can walk away from is a good landing.
Yeah. And as far as I remember, this is still going to be quite the fight.
Oh, yes. Only this time you are not fighting Kaga like you did at the climax of the previous map.
Oh, now it's mirrored. Oh, here we go. Here we go. We're going to shut up for the actual tune. Actually, we're going to shut up for this whole cutscene. So that was Higa Driver and Uesaka Sumire's. Well, it was unnamed in the game, but I prefer to call it Break. Note for all the MTL YouTube lyricists out there, that's B-R-E-A-K, not B-R-A-K-E.
Of note is that Sumire Uesaka is a extremely talented voice actress, and she has also done multiple characters in Azur Lane, including Warspite, Queen Elizabeth, Akashi, and Deutschland.
I.e., many of the characters I like. Depending on whether I can cope with all of the generated media I'd have to put in, I might put my own translation of the lyrics. Well, I might have put my own translation of the lyrics in there, but it will be in the thread regardless. And Grump's seen them.
Yeah, because I was the one who first linked you the damn tune.
Well, yeah. But you also gave me a little bit of crit on the translation.
Well, I try. I'm not good at it, but I try.
Self-crit time on that one. The meter kind of sucks in places. But that often happens with translating Japanese songs to English. But yeah, Amagi worked at being strong.
Now the question is, did she actually attain true strength, or as she says, did she not? Because Amagi believes she did not attain true strength because at the end of the day, she is still dying. She will never be able to see her little sister grow up. She will never be able to continue playing shogi matches with Kaga. And yet, at the end of the day, she believes herself to still be weak.
And yet, she's still stuck a middle finger up to death right up till now.
This fucking shot right here broke the entire Azur Lane Reddit when Crimson Echoes first appeared. You could count the oceans of tears created by that line and that fucking picture right there.
Yeah. Now, this event, is one of those where you have to complete B3 multiple times to get the full story. I believe it's 4 total.
4 or 5, without the safety mechanic that was added into the game after Crimson Echo's first shot, it was questionable, but afterwards it's generally assumed that worst case you just have to get it down to safe levels, which basically means just smacking the boss a few more times after you clear the map.
In this one it literally was for Fallen Wings, it was get it down to safe. And a couple of the more recent ones was another 3 or 4.
So it's variable, but in general, it's always easier and simpler just to smack everything down to safe anyway, because you're going to be grinding the maps for reward points and loot.
True, and here they are, the bonus cutscenes. I am both glad and sad that the story cutscenes are not voiced. Oh well, we'll be hearing Akagi's very dark Ara energy at some point.
Akagi she's a wild personality. She has her good points, she has her bad points. She can be an absolute rampaging bitch, and she can be the absolute most loyal defender of everything you represent, all at the same time.
Yeah. But she's also murderously jealous.
She, again, in her personal story of Red Spider Lily's love, basically kind of groks how to conflate her love and her... Not conflate. She accepts the reality that her love may not be physically reciprocated, but the fact that she can love is enough.
By the way, the her, we're not quite sure who the her is. She is referred to as the creator.
The creator is very much a mystery, and it's still not explained, to be honest, even after recent events like the attack on New York and the microlayer medley.
Yeah. Yeah, but suffice to say, Visitors Died in Red is entirely to do with meeting her, as it were. Or rather, what Akagi and Kaga are willing to do to meet her.
And of course, well, there's things that are done within VDIR that are, I would say, morally questionable, but that would assume there's any question about just how evil brainwashing, mind control, eugenics, and general collection of souls for the use as a power source is.
Yeah. It's such a good thing that may or may not be an alternate universe.
It actually was a part of a Mirror C and Singularity alternative, so it was collapsed by the sirens at the end of the event.
Yeah, but we'll talk more about that during Visitors Died in Red.
And it also says a lot about just how bloody powerful sirens are when they can collapse singularities without eating a chunk of the Earth.
Yeah.
Because we're talking literal singularities, like power of a fucking star in an area the size of, say, New Orleans.
Yeah. So yeah, that was a little bit of a backflash to Amagi's request.
And this is important.
Although its importance is... I'll leave you to talk about that.
The importance is this. The jade brooch that is given to Akagi and Kaga as a memento is very much not only something that is a symbol of Amagi's love and trust in her two, well, younger siblings, but also in the fact that, as you will see, the hostile Kaga, as stipulated by the red name, does not have the brooch. The hostile Akagi, as stipulated by the red name, does not have the brooch. The in-fleet members, the ones that you basically beat the shit out of until they stopped being evil and started joining you, courtesy of grinding 3-4 until your fingers fall off, do. There's implications, very strongly so, that the brooch is in part what keeps Kaga and Akagi sane.
And a direct segue into Visitors Died in Red, and oh, hello there.
Yep. Oh, look, that one I believe is Tester Beta. She lives up to her name. She tests new things, usually with explosions.
Oh, yes, I added an extra bonus at the end. So, our little bonus.
And hello, U81.
Yeah, U81 is my secretary at this point. Not for much longer, but it's not all bump, I swear. We are doing something. We're also not looking at the guild. I protect the privacy of my guild members.
Well, yeah, that's common sense.
We're showing off Supply Line Disruption for the first time!
Yes, Supply Line Disruption is a mini-game that was actually introduced in the lead-up to, what was it? The Scherzo of Iron and Blood.
And honestly, the rewards are middling.
The rewards are middling now, but later on they get pretty damn good. You just have crap torpedoes. God damn, taking 4 to drop a single cargo ship.
This is one of the first times I've been doing this.
Okay, that's fair.
I wasn't confident enough. Basically, by doing this, at this earlier level, you get at least one submarine pack per time you do this.
And submarine packs will drop you basically blue tier or gray tier.
Yeah, blue or grey tier. And oops, I done fucked up. And I saved it with a barrage.
To be fair, the barrage is damn useful. As you can see, you got some purple tier stuff there, but that's blueprints, so you have to collect about 10 of those each.
So mechanics-wise, I don't believe mines are really used much at all, except in this, are they?
Pretty much, no. The mines are essentially just there to annoy you. Surface mines only attack subs that are surfaced. Underwater mines, shown by being darker, are only viable for hitting subs that are underwater. And otherwise, the issue is the various enemy destroyers all have their alertness meters above their heads. You have to stay out of their sonar and basically, well, not get shot, because submarines are fragile little fuckers. There are...
Also, apart from the stealth aspects, even blowing up the treasure ships will add to the alertness meter.
For obvious reason, because, well, convoy reaction and all that, you know?
Yeah, and at this level, I'm punching above my weight class. I could have been very easily killed.
Oh yeah, very much so. But on the bright side, look at that experience go up. You only get 2 supply line disruptions per week. And that's...
Yeah, so this has been Jamie the D.
This has been the Salted Grump.
Take care, everybody.
Have a good day.